So last Friday, I was on my way to the gym after school. I had a very long day at school. And for some reason, I was feeling very, very, very tired. I wasn't feeling great. I was feeling sluggish. I was feeling like my body, every muscle in my body was heavy. I didn't have like muscle aches, but my muscles just felt so heavy. But I just thought to myself, I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna start training. After the first few sets, energy is gonna come back because it usually happens when I'm kind of tired. I go to the gym. Afterwards, I don't feel tired anymore. After the first few sets, I'm just in a flow, and all the tiredness goes away. But that didn't happen. Going to the gym, warm up, struggle to even walk around. Do my first set. I'm super weak. Like I do 3 reps less than I did on the last session. No, even 4 reps less than I did in the last session. That's when I realized, fuck me, I'm fucking weak right now. So I force it and do a second set, but then I'm like, fuck it, no. I'm not gonna go through this workout. I think to myself, yeah, I'm not gonna force it. Don't force it. So I go back to the locker room, take my stuff, and start going back home. And even the route back home, the way back home, it's like a fucking workout. It's fucking difficult. I'm struggling to walk. I'm feeling lethargic. I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling sluggish. And I'm genuinely asking myself, how am I gonna get back home? How the fuck am I gonna get back home when I'm feeling like this? And I really don't know what's happening. I'm thinking to myself, maybe I'm just hungry. So I take something that I bought at like a bakery with my friends that I hadn't eaten yet. And I started eating it. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, it's gonna help. Probably it's gonna help. It's gonna help me right now. I'm kind of visualizing how I'm gonna feel better after eating that sugary bakery stuff. I'm visualizing that yeah, my energy's coming back and everything. So I take my first bite. I think whoa, my energy's not coming back. Take the second bite. Swallow it. Still not feeling better. And that's when I'm like, fuck. It's not about food, is it? Because I thought I was just hungry because I hadn't eaten anything that day. But I was kind of confused because I usually don't eat for the whole day when I'm in school. I just eat after coming back from the gym after school, so I usually can spend a whole day without eating, without struggling. I'm pretty used to intermittent fasting. Doesn't help. So take the bus, ride back home, and just walking from the bus station to my home, it's just fucking difficult. Get back home. Luckily, my mom has cooked something, but even when I try eating it, it feels like a fucking struggle. I feel like I'm gonna pass out. Don't have any appetite. Don't want to eat. So go put the food back maybe in the fridge. And I decided to just lay there without doing anything. And after a few minutes, my energy starts to come back. And that's when I realized, fuck me. It's just about sleep. I've slept like shit for the last week, 1.5 weeks. Of course I'm gonna feel like this. That's when I realized guys like us, we can't afford, we really can't afford to neglect our sleep. Maybe people that go about life in this very comfortable, easy way. I won't say it's in normal life it's easy or the average life is easy at all, but I would say people that don't really train their bodies, that don't really strive to become more productive and to really push their brain to its limits and their body to its limits, that don't strive to learn for hours every day. They can't like get away with it. I have some friends that literally sleep for 3 4 hours a day, and they really can't get away with it. Like they manage to survive. Of course, it's still not optimal. It's definitely not optimal. but they somehow kind of survive. They somehow can kind of get away with it. But people like us, especially people that train very hard, like I've been training very hard recently. I've not been only doing strength training. I've also been doing like plyometrics and sprints and running for cardio and things like that. And it's fucking difficult. It's not fucking easy. It's a fucking grind. And my workouts take a toll on my central nervous system. So if I don't sleep correctly, especially when it accumulates, when it just happens once, it's not that bad. But when it starts accumulating, that's when real damage can start to happen. Like, of course, I'm still making progress in the gym whilst being sleep deprived. I can still do that, but my central nervous system starts to just become more and more and more exhausted, tired. So you really can't afford. If you're someone like me and you're really trying to push yourself to your limits, you're training hard, you're doing good habits and not necessarily pursuing the instant gratification, trying to do bad habits that are very comfortable, easy, and accessible to do, then you really can't afford to do that. So simple thing that you can do to improve your sleep is simply go to bed early. You kind of know it's very simple. Go to bed early and leave at least in 8.5 hours to bedtime. Because a lot of people confuse bedtime with sleep time, like the amount of time you're sleeping. Those things aren't the same. The time you spend in bed is not the time you spend sleeping. Because firstly, you don't fall asleep directly. Most likely it takes you 10, 20, 30 minutes to fall asleep, or even an hour. For some people, even more than that. And then the second thing is you often wake up, not that you often, you always kind of wake up during your sleep, like your bedtime. You always wake up, even when you don't realize it. You often won't realize it, but you do wake up. And you're not always in deep sleep during that time. You wake up and you don't remember it afterwards. But you do wake up. So out of 8 hours that you after you fall asleep to the time you really wake up, maybe 7 hours and 15 minutes was spent really sleeping. Or maybe 7.5 hours, I would say. 7.5 hours was spent really sleeping. So I personally leave with I go to bed at 8, like 6:30 p.m. and I wake up at 4 a.m. So that's 7 would be 7 and 3. Wait. 5, 4, 9, 9:30. I've 9.5 hours allocated to bedtime. Of course, recently I haven't been sleeping that well. I haven't been sleeping that well. I haven't been spending 9.5 hours in bed. But yesterday I managed to do that, and now I feel great again. I've got some energy again. And even yesterday I had more energy because I had slept well the night before, like pretty well. But just add like the simple best way to improve your sleep is just allocate more time to bed. Allocate more time to bed. Allocate a minimum 8.5 hours to bed. Bare minimum. Don't do like the thing of, oh yeah, I'm going to spend 8 hours in bed. When you know it takes you at least an hour to fall asleep. When you know you will definitely wake up during the night. Even when you don't realize it. Even when you won't necessarily remember it. You will wake up during the night. So just simply allocate more time to bed. At least 8.5 hours. I would recommend you go up to 9 at least. Definitely do that. It's just the best way to improve your sleep. And then there are other things you can do, like not eating right before going to bed, like not eating high quantities of food before going to bed. And you can also invest in your sleep. That's something I really recommend you do. Investing in your sleep. I haven't like bought something super expensive for my sleep. There are things like what's it called? cold blankets or weighted blankets or things like that that can help improve your sleep that you can invest in. And if you find out that something that can greatly improve your sleep, then it's definitely worth it to buy it. And if you actually can buy it, it's definitely worth it to buy it because your sleep is something, it literally affects every single aspect of your life. Every single aspect of your life is affected by your sleep. So if you can improve your sleep by 10%, you can literally improve every single aspect of your life by around 10%. So that's definitely worth it. I discovered that so there's something you can buy. It's very expensive. It costs like 3,000 euros or something like that. And you just lay it under your bed, under your mattress, or no, over your mattress, but between. Is it under or over your mattress? I don't know, somewhere under or over your mattress, and it puts your body, it puts your bed into the perfect temperature for you to fall asleep because temperature is very important for sleep and you need to be in a colder environment to fall asleep. That's why you realize that you can actually fall asleep faster when you're kind of cold. But it's very hard to fall asleep when you're kind of hot. When you're in a hot room, it's kind of difficult to fall asleep. But when you're in a really cold room, even though it can be uncomfortable, but when you're like in a really, really cold environment, even if it's really cold, and you kind of have to put your whole body into below the blanket, and you don't really even want to let the chills get out of it. Those are the nights where you weirdly sleep very, very well. I remember I was in Spain with my family, and we were staying at my sister's place, and we had kind of like we had those what's it called? You know, the machines that you kind of lay into the walls, like you screw them to the wall and it makes the room colder. Or I don't remember the name. It just makes the whole room colder. And my brother and I were sleeping on the bed on the floor, and it was directly in front of us. So in the beginning when before we fell asleep, it didn't really feel that cold, but during the night it became extremely cold. So we were like, I remember how we were under the blankets. I just woke up in the middle of the night and I'm looking at my brother and he's like this under the blanket. And I'm kind of thinking to myself, fuck, it's cold, but I don't want to like stand up and reduce the temperature because I know just this few seconds when I'm standing up, I'm gonna feel that they're freaking cold because I won't have my blanket with me. So I'm thinking just bear with it. Just try to survive. But those nights, it happened for many nights with my brother. But those nights we slept very, very fucking well. We slept extremely well. So those there are different machines that can optimize your sleep and make it better and help you to really, 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 if you want to take your sleep to the next level. Those are things you can invest in. I can't really afford a single right now, but I plan to when I can, when I start making more money. So be ready to invest in your sleep because it will affect every aspect of your life. So yeah, don't worry from discomfort. Jason.